What happened? Mine just, you good?
I'm back now.
I don't know what just happened, but welcome to Pull Up In Already, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise you we're going to give them to you anyway.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Nate. And let's pull the pin already.
Yes, Nate, let's pull it.
You're like, what? You're like, what? Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't know, a little technical glitch there.
Yeah, mine went blank too.
Yeah, that was crazy, but probably my internet stinks again. I don't know what's, and it's always something, right? But I still haven't got rid of this cold, so if I sound all nasty and, the usual, then sorry. Got my morning vegetables again, but it's good to have you back, Nate.
Glad to be here.
You're here. Yep. Talking about what are we talking about here? We're talking about headlines, right?
Headlines.
I seem way off more now than I did that one episode we came back. So we're talking about headlines, and we're going to talk about it from our perspective because why, Nate? I don't know.
Because we're average veterans who've been around the world and we know everything. If you don't know that by now.
I did it to you again, right? I threw it at you. But we probably haven't read the articles, no, like you. And that's the funny thing, dude. I can't tell you how many times I see headlines and inside the article, like paragraph 3 or 4, they literally contradict the headline. It's just a narrative they want to get out there. That's why, look, if you are people like us that don't read headlines, I'm going to assume you have very little common sense. And I don't mean that as an insult. I guess it could be an insult, but you have no common sense because if you believe a headline and you don't compare it to at least the world you live in, there's something wrong. Or if you don't stop and say, hey, could that be true? And if so, what's the probability it's true? You know, what they call Occam's razor too, the least, whatever, the most reasonable explanation with the least amount of assumptions.
Yeah,
that thing. Right. I mean, so at the end of the day, you don't have to spend a lot of time, but I'm telling you this, if you're reading a headline and you're getting mad at it,
call yourself Jim.
Right. But at least I do find out some more information. You know what I mean? Before I waste my anger at stuff, I either resort to my experience, my knowledge, or I'll look for more information.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're just a general person and say you don't know anything about, whatever the headline might be, and you're mad about it, because all the dolphins are dying from, soda bottle holders, just go read something. Don't get mad. I wouldn't waste the energy on something you know nothing about. And that's the proof, like in the Israel-Hamas thing. All these people just read a headline, that's an injustice. And they don't understand that inside the story, if that situation happened to you, you'd do the same damn thing. You know what I mean? It's like if just say you were Israel and I was Hamas and I snuck in your house and raped your wife and killed your kids. Do you think it'd be reasonable for you to come hunt me down and kill me? I don't believe in killing, but you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying, right? People would have more compassion for you because of what you did. It didn't matter if we kept pissing on each other's lawn, right? That didn't matter. The point is the act was atrocious and it should be condemned.
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and get you more fired up. Let's move on.
Oh, great. All right. Biden admin has flown over 400,000 migrants to airports across the U.S.
That's it?
Why are they migrants?
Because that's the proper word used for them.
Is it? I thought migrants were people that move within the country.
Yeah.
Immigrants are the ones that come into it.
If he's moving migrants around, that's fine. But I'm sure they're using that as an illegal immigrant.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Immigrants are people that come into the country. You know what? Christine will probably be good at correcting this. She's good with that stuff. But I really thought immigrant meant you were coming into the country. Migrants move within the country because people migrate from state to state.
So by the
I guess
headline,
people migrate from country to country, but
by the
it makes them an immigrant.
We can probably tell what leaning news source you got this from because I didn't call them illegal immigrants.
Probably. Or it could just be an uneducated reporter, which there are plenty of.
Because, I'm sure you read the article, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
No.
So let's take it from the headline. I am fine with him moving 400,000 migrants around. That's fine. They came here. They're migrants, and they're good to go in this country, right?
Right. If they're migrants.
Christine, we're looking at you to make sure we're saying this properly. But it's my opinion, so of course it's true. It's my true opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think this has to do with the immigrants that they were pulling from out of the countries with that app. Remember Biden made that app so people can bypass the border?
Illegal immigrants,
Yeah,
yes.
this should be illegal immigrants, and that's exactly
Yeah.
what there's 400,000 of them. I mean, I just don't understand, dude. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I need to fly my own country.
And at the end of the day, I say it again to you. I say it again. The pattern this stuff is making, you are literally your family is going to be in danger one day. And I'm telling you, other than the people putting you in danger right in front of you, you need to remember the names of the people who are creating this danger. Because someone's going to have to be accountable at some point. If you lost something, somebody has to pay that debt. And I'm not endorsing any violence, even though there's Democrats that get away with it all the time. I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying, remember the names of these people who are gaslighting you, lying to you, and actually letting this happen. And this includes, didn't you see? I think we missed the headline. That border agent that got caught smuggling people in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a border agent
Well,
got
I'm gonna
caught smuggling people. He probably did it for the money. It's probably his family needed money. So yeah, we'll give him a little compassionate, empathetic. But you screw the entire country for yourself? Nope.
remind me.
Remember those names, dude. Remember them.
I'm actually gonna skip a headline and go to this headline.
Oh, great. Because this is really relevant. Death to America chanted at Palestine Michigan rally.
So you're bringing all these people in, and then this is what you get. Don't even want. They don't even. They want death to. They're in America, yelling "Death to America." That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Now this one, dude, I probably should have saved it for last, because this one is another one of those triggers. This is going. I'm going to probably go into an irate tirade here
All right, moving
because
on to the headline. Next headline is.
you're probably right, man. You're probably right because I,
I'll
I just
cut you off if I need to. Go ahead.
I just I'm American. I'm patriotic. I went to war. I went to the military. I gave my life for this country.
You
I
didn't give your. You
married.
didn't. You didn't give your life. You risked your life because you're still
I
alive.
risked my life. Correct. Correct. Good. Hey, that it matters, man. It does matter. Um, so I married an immigrant, a legal immigrant. I married an immigrant from South America. My children are half of her DNA. Um, so don't give me a lecture about any of this crap. But I'm telling you right now, when my late wife came to this country, she spoke the language, she got the education, she became a taxpaying citizen, and she contributed to this country, and this country became her priority. That's what our immigration system is supposed to be. That's what we do. We bring people from other countries to make them Americans. It's called assimilation. Okay? You come here for what this country has, and it's not just the money. You come here for our way of life.
She came here for Jim.
No, that was just a
Oh,
good byproduct of it. But the point being is that's what this country's about. Now, Michigan, this whole town up there, is a perfect example of letting people in who do not come here to assimilate. You do not belong here, does not make you a citizen because you pass a test, even though that's the official federal exception. But
I
as
don't, e-
far as I'm
I
concerned,
don't even know if they're citizens.
as far as I'm concerned, if you are shouting death to America, if you are in Michigan in this I don't care, look, Muslim or not, I know there's many good Muslims out there. If you come here and you think you're going to bring your law here, you practice your religion, but you're not going to bring your law here, which they've done. And they've even got representatives in our Congress that support their way of life, which has nothing to do with our way of life, just because we allowed you to come here. You are free to practice your religion. You are not free to change the whole dynamic of our existence of our country. You're not free. There's other pieces of land you can go to that will allow you to do that, probably endorse it and love for you to do that.
In the
So
Middle East, right?
no, I do not. I think when we do the mass migration of getting all the illegals out, I think there's certain places in this town we need to start revoking citizenship. You want to spy on Americans? This is a good place to start. This is a threat. Death to America is a threat, an imminent threat to our country and our way of life. You need to start spying on these people. You need to start revoking citizenships and deport them with the rest of them.
Well, we can't spy on them because the Republicans killed the bill.
No, you can. You can still do it right
Oh,
now.
okay. Just
You can
checking.
do it with a warrant. Let me tell you something. You go
Oh,
on
yeah, yeah.
TV and you start chanting "Death to America." You think that's probable cause? Is that
I don't know.
probable cause to investigate someone?
That's freedom of speech.
Yeah, but freedom of speech does not include threats.
I don't know.
That's why we have to be very careful when we tell people things like that on here, right? Because we
Gotcha.
can't threaten
Yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Even the infamous "if," right? Because I remember that was a huge legal thing. If you touch my child, I will kill you is not a threat because there's an option. There was actually a lady that confronted a board member. I don't know if it was a governor or something like that. I don't know if you saw that in the news. She went in there pro-Palestinian and she literally threatened these people, and the lady had her arrested right after she gave her little
Well,
thing.
good.
Which I'm glad. I'm glad.
See ya.
But and I understand people get mad and they don't really mean those threats. So I would have leniency, but I guarantee you 100% these people mean these
Oh,
threats.
I'm sure.
So if you want to save democracy, you need to protect the country and the democracy we have. I know where you can start. It's a little place in Michigan.
Well, let's move on to Arizona.
Yep, we're going to move to Arizona. Arizona bans nearly all abortions as court upholds 1864 law making performing one a felony. This is controversial, huh?
This is a big controversial subject, but it's like I said, the state doesn't. Should it be federalized or should it be done in the states?
So look, man, do you want to even care about what your stance is on abortion?
My body, my choice. Don't
Okay,
tell me.
so
Don't tell me to get a vaccine.
right. Okay, so if I'm reading
Right?
that right,
Right?
yeah, I'm not arguing with you, man.
Yeah.
I'm against abortion, even the death penalty. I don't believe that we have the authority to kill people. I just don't think that's our personal, authority or responsibility. We should not be killing anybody. Um, so I don't believe abortions should happen, period. But I also am sort of like you. I don't think we can make people get an abortion or not get an abortion, because I can't stop you from overdosing on drugs, right? You want to kill yourself. If you want to harm your child, you harming yourself by doing it. I still have a problem with it, but I know we can't stop it. So I don't believe pushing people into a corner, making things harder, is the answer. But this, I do believe we can stop people from um, performing them. I don't think it should be a part of a legal process, just
What I
like we did with
yeah.
drugs.
What I want to know is what nearly all means, because I don't believe in abortions for
Saving the mother's life, but that becomes a medical procedure, not an abortion.
well, the baby's still alive within the womb at that point in time, so I guess technically it's still. But yeah, yes,
Right.
I agree with you on that.
It's no
Yeah,
different than that the two girls that got the two heads.
like rape.
If one of them was killing the other one and she agreed to give herself or whatever, or
Yeah, there you go. I don't believe in it
right,
for birth control reasons, but like you said, medical reasons,
sure.
rape. Oh, that's totally different than.
I'm not even sure I believe in rape because it's still a child. You don't have to keep it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I
It's
don't have to
not
be.
just
I don't have to be raped either. I don't have to go through this having a child by somebody who raped me, and
right,
I
right.
don't
But
want anything to
what's
do with it.
what's the
That's just
the
my
rape is already painful, dude. The rape, no different than being molested and all that. That is already a painful, traumatic
like I
thing.
said. Your opinion's fact and my opinion's fact. That's what
Well, right, right.
matters.
But I'm just trying to say, well, if I can't explain my point, then it doesn't make sense as an opinion. You know what I mean? So the rape itself is already traumatic. Whether the child is there or not, you're going to feel the trauma from the rape for the rest of your life, right? So I do agree that if you're forced to carry and raise a child, it could be more traumatic. But I also believe if there are resources and people to support you through that, and you remove the child from your life, you may change your mind later on and may want a relationship with that child.
Oh, makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So, and just because it was conceived in the wrong fashion, doesn't mean you're going to throw that human being to the wolves and not have compassion and empathy for it. You know
Oh,
what I mean? So at the end of the day, by removing that choice doesn't exist, and you're still going to deal with the trauma of the rape, and you may even deal with the trauma of the abortion. So you may compound it without even knowing the other side of it. So I just don't think it's the right thing to do. And I can't say I've been through it, so I don't know. But I've lost my wife. I've had loss before in my life. So I know what that's like. Not that I can compare it to being rape or abortion, but I know that I would do anything to have her back but there's nothing I can do about that.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
that's the only reason I do that. And as far as the ban goes, Arizona do Arizona. People are free to move about the country. In fact, I just cussed about a whole region up in Michigan that's doing what they want to do, but I think that's a little different. That's away from American standards. But I do feel like
You
as long
think?
as this is being voted on, I do not believe that I think this should be ballot initiatives, not Congress created or local government created. I do not believe a local government should speak for its citizens. I think the citizens should decide on this.
They do. They vote. They vote their people in, and that's who speaks for them. That's how that
No, I do
works.
not believe in that. I
Well,
don't believe
that's
in that because they tried that in my local government
how
and
it's
I asked
working.
them, what's that?
But that's how it's working.
Right, but I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. I think if you care, you go to the polls. And I think that's the one way to get people to the polls because when you look at the number of people that could vote but don't vote, all those people shouldn't get a say. I don't think I care what your opinion is if you're not willing to go out and vote.
Yeah.
Because what you just explained is the way it should be, it would make it easier.
And how many times do you have your local congressman, local politician have a town hall? Like, tell me what you guys want to hear. Tell me guys what you're thinking. Let me
Right.
know what I need to take back to the hill.
Yep.
Probably about this many times, right?
Yeah.
Probably about this many times.
When they
All right.
do it, people don't show up, right?
Yep. Moving
So
on.
shame on you.
Yep.
Speaking of families of Alabama inmates allege organs were removed without consent as expert eyes wider problem.
So
You have to
this
figure this one out because I
yeah,
didn't read it.
what it fails to tell me is was this inmate alive or dead when they when they took some organs?
Doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Without consent was right there the key.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the families are assuming they're not organ donors. They never have been. Never said they would be. I think my license says I am. I don't know if my family knows that I'm
Well,
an organ
there's
donor.
missing
You
a
know what
lot
I
of
mean?
information, right? But based on what you see in this headline, it's without consent. Take the family's word for it.
Sure. Okay.
Say Alabama inmates were allegedly removing organs without their consent. And what would be the
No, I don't think Alabama inmates were removing organs. I think they were
No,
removing
yeah, you're right.
organs
You're right.
of Alabama
Precision matters,
inmates.
man. I keep screwing this up, right?
I just
Holy
want to make
cow,
sure.
precision
I
matters.
want to make sure we're reading the headline the same
Good call.
way.
That's why I got you, Nate. Good job. Thank you.
Because if Alabama inmates were taking organs, well, now we got a different.
There's a whole market for them in there.
Oh.
But first of all, Alabama. Like Alabama's one of those anti-abortion, kind of slave remnant
Didn't they
states.
start the whole? You could get charged if you dropped an IVF file. Wasn't that Alabama?
I don't remember, dude, but
Like you can get charged with murder for dropping an IVF bottle because that had,
I
it
don't
could
know, dude.
impregnate a late woman or something like that. Yeah,
It wouldn't
I
surprise
think
me. They're
I think it was
pro-life.
Alabama.
They're a strong pro-life state there. So if you want to live there, you're going to have that kind of way of life. But first of all, you got to believe this stuff is happening, right? Prisons are privately owned, and that's why where I see the argument going back to the cries from the black community, where half of the argument I understand, don't do the crime, don't do the time, right? But the other half of the prison system I see too. I do not have faith in our prison systems. I do believe they're for-profit organizations, and I do believe there is prison reform does need to happen.
Well, so it's justice reform too. Let's start
Right,
there
I
too.
do believe, but it's
Let's fix
all.
them both. Let's fix them both at the same time.
I think it's all the same thing. I think power corrupts, and absolute power absolutely corrupts. So I think just with anything, the longer it goes, the more power people get, the more corruption seeps in it, the more we have to revise or redo the whole system.
Yeah.
Like that goes with anything, dude. It goes even in your, like I said, bring it down to your house. You know what I mean? As your children grow older and start getting more power, don't they change? The dynamics change. So you have to have a different approach toward older little people than you did when they were younger. So I think that being said, every system in our government, in our society, needs to be revamped at certain times and restructured because it will allow corruption to seep in. So I do believe that's true to be across the board. So at the end of the day, the prison systems are a mess to me. And I think that's where the black community does get the short end of the stick because even if they didn't have fathers in their household, their life was rough, their schools suck because they didn't pay attention and their teachers didn't care, and then they get committing crimes. Then they go into another system that only exacerbates the problem and doesn't fix it. So in that sense, yeah, my compassion and empathy is with the community, I mean, not just black community, just the low income, people end up in prison. That community, I don't think we're doing them any help. I don't think we're doing anything to reform them. But I also think that starts way before prison. So
Yeah.
I think you fix the school systems first,
Well, there
actually
you go.
only hire people who give a damn about teaching, and then give them the ability to teach. Start changing the way teachers teach. You don't put all the kids in the same class because they're all the same age. You have to put different learners with different learning styles with different teachers. I think you really need to dig down and get to that level. You
I'm
need
gonna
to have
hire
people in
you
there.
for Secretary of Education when I become president.
Right, right. But you get what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think you start with the education system. You got to get all the communists out of it, all the woke communists out of the system who are trying to brainwash kids. Go back to the basic tenets of what we're supposed to be teaching them, and then leave all the other garbage and bureaucracy out. I think you work on that first, and then I think the prison system will be a byproduct fix of that.
Yeah.
So
Makes
I
sense.
think that's where you start. Well, the families, I think, honestly, go along with the education system. But the education system needs to support the families, but we really need to fix the families, if I'm being totally honest. We need to get back to fixing the families, which is why this woke ass LGBT, all that movement stuff is garbage. It's garbage. You do you, but stop trying to destroy the traditional family, because that's the reason you are the way you are, because your traditional family's been broken down. You probably wouldn't be so damn confused if you had a good mom and dad raising you.
I know some people though that way, and their parents are pretty damn good
Yeah,
parents.
but you know some people, right? You don't know a whole damn population like that.
Well, you just grouped them all into one. That's why they're that way
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they didn't
Well, I
have good
know.
families.
Right. You're
I'm
right.
disagreeing with you. Not all of
You're
them.
right. You're right. I'm not wrong, but you're right. Um, Precision matters. No, precision matters. Really, that's what it's about. I can't just group everybody in, but I'm saying a bulk of this movement has
Gotcha.
nothing to do with the good parents, bad parents. Even when you look at it, even Antifa, the Black Lives Matter people, you look at, they've got rich parents. I'm not going to say they're good parents. And let's be real. I'm even going to challenge your definition of good parents. I'm going to challenge that, because what you assume as good parents today were probably not the same definition of good parents in the day. And I'm not saying there was a lot more back then. I'm saying we've become a society where both parents work, children are neglected, whether you admit it or not.
Yeah, yeah.
So is that a good parent, to have your child raised by the school and their peers? No, that's not. So I don't think we have a lot of good parents today anyway. Or I don't want to say good parents. They're probably good people, but poor parenting skills has become the norm, myself included. And even unfortunately, through the situation and circumstances I'm in, I just think we've lost that. And that goes back to my initial point about the family. So anyway, I'm rambling too long. Let's get out of this, and so people can spend time with their families.
Exactly.
Thanks again, Nate, for tuning in. I mean, tuning in, for joining me. Thank you guys for tuning. Nate never tuned in, so that was a precision matters. I've been screwing that up all episode. Um, Thanks, Nate, for joining me. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, do all the other cool stuff, and whatever. Send us your money, because we don't have any, and we'll keep bringing this thing for free. But until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin already. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.